Alright. Shalom, Yashala. Back with another GMS on the go. I'm Brother Nakum. I'm with the Raleigh, North Carolina camp. Before I go any further, I'd like to give all honor, all glory, and all praises to the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rukar Kodash. Next up, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone for teaching us this truth according to the Bible, and who rule well, and a double shalom to all the Sasiakim throughout the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth and righteousness and sincerity to the best of your ability. And I was able to get up through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, who the world ignorantly calls God and Jesus, who's a so-called black man. And this lesson I'm going to be going into on basically, you so-called Negroes, Latin Americans, you need to wake up. You see, because the times that we're fastly approaching are evil. You see, the times that we're coming into, all hell is getting ready to break loose around the four corners of the earth and here in America. You see, and if you so-called Negroes, Latin Americans don't want to get caught up in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua's wrath, then you need to take heed to His men He has provided you with and wake the hell up before it's too late. So without further ado, I'm going to dive right into it and I'm going to grab my first precept. This is Romans chapter 13, verse 11. And that, knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep. And that's right. It's high time for you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and the Americans to wake up out of that spiritual sleep that you're in, from following the ways of this place called America and everything that's being promoted in this place. And the only way you so-called Negroes, Latino, and Americans can wake up out of that spiritual sleep that you're in, from following the ways of this place called America, you will have to know the times that you're living in. You see, because the times that you so-called Negroes, Latino, and Americans are living in, believe it or not, are evil. You see, we're approaching some bad times. You see, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, who the world ignorantly calls God and Jesus, who is so-called black man, is going to bring race riots, martial law, a famine of food and thirst, FEMA camps with the guillotine inside of them to chop your head off. You see a whole bunch of diseases. You see a whole bunch of brutal animals eating you to death. You know, ultimately, the end all be it all. These 200 ICBM missiles that are going to come from the end of heaven, the end of earth, that all these different nations are going to send over to this place called America and destroy it. Along with the chariots, which the world ignorantly calls UFOs, with the laser beam of fire coming down from the bottom of it. You see? So you so-called Negroes, Latin Americans, the times that you're living in are evil. So it will behoove you to wake the hell up and take heed to the prophets, you know, the teachers that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushuah has provided you with. You see, because if you so-called Negroes, Latino, and Americans, you know, continue to stay asleep and follow the ways of this place called America, you're going to meet Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua's wrath and that judgment that they got prepared for this place called America. So you so-called Negroes, Latin Americans, you need to wake up, because again, the times that you so-called Negroes, Latino, and Americans are living in are evil. So I'm reading from the top again. This is Romans chapter 13, verse 11. And that knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep. For now is our salvation nearer than when we believe. And that's right. Our salvation, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, coming back to deliver the elected nation of Israel on those chariots, Lord's will be some men. Our salvation is nearer than when we believe. You see, because when we first woke up to this truth, we knew that salvation was coming. We knew that Lord Yahushua was on his way. But how much more now that we're really in the truth? Salvation is nearer than when we first believed. Salvation is at the door and is gearing to come in. So knowing that salvation is on the way, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, you so-called Negroes, Latino Americans, You need to wake up before it's too late. Because again, we're approaching some serious times. And you don't want to get caught up in the times that's going to come to this place called America and all around the four corners of the earth. So you so-called Negroes, Latin Americans, what do you need to do? Wake up from that spiritual sleep that you're in. From falling away to this place called America. So I'm going to grab my next precept. Salakia Israel. This is Salakia. 1 second. I'm trying to find my next precept. This is Micah chapter 2 verse 10. Arise ye and depart. And that's right. You so-called Negroes, Latino, and Americans, you need to arise and depart from this place called America. Wake the hell up spiritually and depart mentally and spiritually. You see, cast off your wicked ways of following this place called America. Cast off sodomy, man with man, woman with woman. Cast off committing adultery, sleeping with the next man's wife, vice versa. Cast off defiling a temple by smoking weed, cigarettes, black and miles, and so forth on. Cast off eating these abominable foods such as shrimp, pork, crab, lobster. Cast off worshiping all these different false gods who are no gods. Cast off celebrating all these different pagan holidays that Yahweh Shemashah despise, that they hate. Again, cast off the ways of this place called America and leave it behind you. You see, because if you so-called Negroes, Latino, and Americans choose to stay asleep and keep falling the ways of this place called America, you're going to meet Yahweh Shemashah's judgment and that wrath and what they got in store for this place. So again, if you so-called Negroes, Latino, and Americans don't want to get caught up in Yahweh Shemashah's judgment, that wrath, and what they got in store for this place called America, then what do you need to do? You need to wake up before it's too late and cast this place America behind you. Let it go. And come back to the law, statutes, commandments of the Bible, and keep them to the best of your ability. So I'm reading that from the top again. This is Micah chapter 2, verse 10. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest. And that's right. America is not you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Americans' rest. You see? So that means you shouldn't be in the house to feasting, partying and living it up. You shouldn't be in a state of mirthing, thinking everything is funny in the game. You see, America is not our rest. This place wasn't designed for us to make it here. We were brought on cargo slave ships to serve our punishment, captivity, to do hardcore work until our power, Yahweh Shemashah, says otherwise and come back and deliver us. You see? So this place, America, is not our rest. And that's exactly why you so-called Negroes, Latino Americans need to wake up from falling away of this place called America. Because this place, America, is not our rest. You shouldn't be comfortable right now. It reads on. Because it is polluted. And that's right. This place, America, is polluted. From the chemtrails that Esau, the so-called white man, is spraying out of the planes in the sky, to the GMO food that we eating, to the fluoride water that we drinking, to all the trees being chopped down. You see, to the bloodshed of the so-called Negroes, Latino Americans, being shed in this land, all the way down to the customs, the ideologies, the traditions, and so forth on. This place, America, is defiled, it's polluted all around. It reads on. It should destroy you, even with a sword of destruction. And that's right. And it don't take a rocket science to see condition of our people, so-called Negroes, Latino, and Americans. This place, America, has destroyed our people mentally and spiritually. You see, our people out here sprung out on drugs. They're gang banging, selling drugs, committing adultery, sleeping with another man's wife, vice versa, indulging in sodomy, man with man, woman with woman, worshiping all these different false gods who are no gods, celebrating all these different pagan holidays. The list goes on and on. 2/3 of our people of Israel, you see, they have let this place America destroy them. And now because they let this place America destroy them, they're going to be destroyed with a sword destruction, meaning what? When America go down by 200 ice-speed missiles that these other nations are going to send over to this place called America and destroy it, along with the chariots with the laser beam of fire coming down from the bottom of it, 2/3 of Israel, so-called Negroes, Latin Americans, they're going to go down with this place. Why? Because they have made America their rest, and they never woke up to the fact that what was really going on out here. When you had the prophets coming in the spirit and power Yahweh Shem Shah, constantly giving them warning, constantly blowing the trumpet. You see? So if you so-called Negroes, Latin Americans don't want to get destroyed, you see, if you don't want to go down when this place America go down, then what do you need to do? You need to wake up. Take heed to the men of the Lord, preach these words, watch videos, get edified before it's too late. Because there is going to come a point in time when there's going to be when it's going to be too late. So you so-called Negroes, Latin Americans, you need to wake up. Get my next precept real quick. I ain't gonna make this long unless I just want to hit the points, you know. Just letting Yasha Allah, you know, the Prince of Power, Israel, you know, letting them know that y'all, you need to wake up. It's time. We're coming to some serious times. This ain't the time to be playing around and goofing off. This ain't the time to be chasing after women. I mean, it ain't nothing wrong with getting a woman, but it ain't the time for all of that right now. This is the time to be seeking your power, getting enough, getting enough information as you can before it's too late. This is the time to be seeking your power. Yahweh Ba'ashem Shah. Yahweh being the Heavenly Father, which his name means he is or he exists. And Yahweh Shah being the only God's son, which his name means he saves, he delivers. That's the time that we living in. Because all hell can break loose any minute now. So this is Ephesians chapter 5 verse 14. Wherefore he saith, awake thou that sleepest. And that's right. You so-called Negroes, Latino Americans, you need to awake from that spiritual sleep that you're in, from falling away to this place called America and everything that's going on here. You need to wake from sodomy. You need to wake from marring your beard and making baldness upon your head. You need to wake from committing adultery, sleeping with the next man's wife, vice versa. You need to wake from gangbanging, selling drugs. You see, the list goes on and on. You so-called Negroes, Latino Americans, you need to wake from that spiritual sleep that you're in. It says, and arise from the dead. And that's right. And once you so-called Negroes, Latino Americans wake up from that spiritual sleep that you're in, what do you need to do? You need to wake up from the dead. And what's the dead that you so-called Negroes, Latino Americans need to awake from? I'm about to grab a precept on that right now. This is Proverbs chapter 21 verse 16. The man that wandereth out of the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead. And that's right. And first and foremost, that man is talking about an Israelite man, so-called Negro, Latino, and Americans. You see, so the Israelite man, so-called Negro, Latino, and Americans, who wander out of the way of understanding, you know, which is this truth, following the law, statutes, and commandments of the Bible to the best of your ability, which Yahweh Shem Shah gave unto us. The Israelite man, the one out of the way of understanding, is going to remain in the congregation of the dead. And what's the congregation of the dead? These heathen nations, starting with Esau, the so-called white man, on down to Ham, the so-called Judean Africans, on down to Moab and Ammon, the so-called Chinese and Japanese, on down to Elam, the so-called Dahites Indians, on down to Ishmael, the so-called Musty Arabs. You see, these heathen nations, these are the congregation of the dead that you so-called Negroes, Latino Americans need to arise from. You see, because if you so-called Negroes, Latino Americans keep following the ways of these nations, their ways is going to lead you to death. And that's why you need to come back to your ways, which Yahweh Shemashah gave you, the law, statutes, commandments of the Bible. Because your ways is which leads to life. You see? So you so-called Negroes, Latin Americans, you need to rise from the dead, from following their ways, and come back to your ways. So I'm going to go back to Ephesians. Salakia. This is Ephesians chapter 5, verse 14 from the top again. Wherefore he saith, awake thou that sleepest, and arise from the dead, and Hamashiach shall give thee light. And that's right. So Yahweh Shah Hamashiach is going to give you so-called Negroes, Latino Americans, the light, which is what? The truth, the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding these scriptures. But first, you got to what? You got to wake up from the dead and seek the men of the Lord that Yahweh Shemashah has provided you with. And once you wake up from the dead and seek the men that Yahweh Shemashah has provided you with, then Yahweh Shemashah is going to give you the light, the understanding of the truth. You know, so that's my lesson. I ain't want to make it a long lesson. I just wanted to go in on how you so-called Negroes, Latin Americans need to wake up from that spiritual sleep that you're in and following ways this place called America before it's too late. Because again, we are entering into some serious times to where all hell can break loose any minute now. So it'll be in you so-called Negroes, Latino Americans' best interest to wake up and take heed to the men of the Lord that's edifying you so-called Negroes, Latino Americans. So with that, I hope you've been edified. It's been another GMS on the go. I'm Brother Nakam. I'm with the Raleigh, North Carolina camp. Before I go any further, I'd like to give all honor, all glory, and all praises to the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rokar, Kodash. Next up, double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone, for teaching us this truth according to the Bible, and who rule well, and a double shalom to all the Siseaki throughout the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth in righteousness and sincerity to the best ability. Till next time, shalom.